All right, guys, I'm going to walk you through the first portion of the Mythology Project Guide. Okay, so for each unit that we have, you typically we're going to have two options when it comes to your presentations. The first option is going to be an individual project, and the second option is going to be a group project. For this one, your individual option is the Greek float, and your group project is the story time presentation. For the float portion, this is like the most hands-on creative one that we'll have during the semester, where you could actually do this in other ones as well, but this is one where that's the option presented to you. It's the lesser Greek float. So there's all kinds of Greek heroes and gods that I don't have time to go into detail on, and so this is a chance for you guys to cover that in this opening unit. Okay, so for this one, there's going to be options there at the bottom. There are like 35 that you can choose from. So you pick one of those heroes or creatures or minor gods, and then you are going to create for me some kind of physical representation of that god and bring it in. Okay, so it's like a shoebox float is the base of this design. And so what you would typically do is make a box that looks like a float that you would have in like a homecoming parade. And on top of it's going to be things that represent your hero or god. So you're going to do some research. I have links here on that that'll take you to great places to find information about each one of these. So let's say you did Zeus, which is not one of the options. You look him up, you find out that he is a god that has lots of representations. He's a god of the sky, so maybe you have some clouds on top of there. You find out that his symbol is the lightning bolt and the eagle and the oak tree, so you work that in. Then you read a really good story at him, and maybe you put like some kind of representation of that story, maybe along the sides of the box. I've also had people actually make things that weren't boxes. Like maybe they made like a boat, or because their story was about like someone who traveled on a ship, or maybe they made like I've had people make like paper mache heads of like Medusa or something like that and brought them in. All that is totally fine. But you're going to stand up, you're going to present this to the class, super short little presentation. You stand up in your spot, you say, here's what I have. I had this guy, this is some information about him. Here's why I made the float the way that I did. We'll all clap, you sit down. We'll go around the circle until everybody who has done this has presented. And then I'll give you a chance to vote as well. And so whoever ends up winning that competition actually earns some extra credit on that as well. That is the individual project. The group project is the storytime presentation. And this one repeats. Okay. So for that one, you're going to pick one of the Greek stories that is on this slide that is not loading right now. So you're going to see it's on the next page here. So you're going to pick one of those options that I have there that are the Greek stories, and you and your group are going to find a way to tell that story in a creative way. And that's the main thing that you need to remember on this. It's not just a slideshow that you're making and walking us through that slideshow. Okay, please hear that. It cannot just be a Google slide that you walk through. Like, you will not get credit for that whatsoever. It has to be an interactive, fun retelling of this story, because people wanted to hear these stories. Okay, and so find a creative way to do this. You can act it out, you can make a video, do something that is going to be enjoyable, and then retell that story for us. That's the group presentation version of that. So those are your two options. Think about that and let me know what you decide.